We're reacting to how a 19-year-old planned Florida's deadliest shooting.
Gonna be a big event. And when you see me on the news, you'll all know who I am.
This sounds inspirational, but the fame 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz is hoping to get will not come from achieving something great. Less than a week after recording this video, he's going to barge into his high school.
Chat, I remember this. When I was younger, before I moved, what's it called? I used to live, the high school I used to go to, it was called, what's it called? Franklin. It was right next to, not right next to, like 25 minutes away from the school. And I remember that day, I think when this happened, every school went to lockdown in like
school and shoot everyone he sees.
You're all going to die. Oh yeah, can't wait.
At approximately 2:19 p.m., right before afternoon dismissal, Nicholas Cruz, a suspended student, entered the campus using the gate he knew would be unstaffed. Campus security monitor Andrew Medina recognized him on the cameras. Cruz had been suspended from the school after months of acting up, but seeing him wasn't what freaked him out. It was what he had with him.
Sir, are you a witness? You know what's going on? Did you see anything? Can you give us additional information?
I saw the kid when he came on campus. He had his shirt with a black hat, black shoes.
Stand up here, up against the wall.
I came wrapped around and watched the front gate because I hold the cars from coming in.
So the subject, he got dropped off by an Uber?
Got dropped off by an Uber. We walked on campus. I saw him walking on campus, and I saw him with the bag, with like a rifle bag or something. I called my other security guy that's in the building, and I told him, heads up, I think somebody crazy with it like a bag coming, because the boy crazy. You already know the kid kind of crazy. So I saw him come with the bag. I wanted my guy to be careful.
He was right to be concerned, because within a few seconds, Cruz would enter Building 12 and run into freshman Chris McKenna in the stairwell. Chris saw the bag in Cruz's hand and the heavily modified rifle he took out of it. Cruz told him, "You better get out of here. Things are going to get messy." And he made sure they did. Over the next 6 minutes, Cruz brought Florida to its knees.
Hands up! Yo, chat. Whoa. Nah, imagine being that kid. Yo, you better get out of here. Fuck no, bro. Did you tell me that? Yo, give me... Give me 10 seconds and I'm out. Imagine he's like, get out of here, and he shoots you right after. No, that's scary. No, that's fucking scary.
We got more coming out, probably about 15-20.
As far as I know, we've got 3 wounded.
Mass murder at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland.
Demons, man. Voices.
Voices and demons?
What the Where am I? Holy shit. What happened?
"14-year-old Martin Duque and 15-year-old Luke Hoyer walked up to the door of room 1215
in less than 6 minutes. All this took place in 6 minutes. Everybody killed. No.
and knocked, trying to get back inside their study hall. In the same stretch of hallway, 14-year-old Gina Montalto and 15-year-old Ashley Baez were moving through the hall just like everyone
I feel like she made it because that looks like a courtroom in the background.
else. But Cruz stepped out into that first floor hallway and opened fire. Martin, Luke, and Gina were hit multiple times and passed away from their injuries. Ashley was struck and forced to crawl and find cover farther down the hall to room 1210. Because she was out of sight, she was able to survive and help the teachers lock down the room. While all of that happened, the message that would have frozen the building in place still hadn't gone out.
Why don't they just lock the door? Like, why? My school now, naturally, like, the door's locked. Like, you can't open unless you have a key. So just leave that and then just push all the desks forward. I'm not gonna crazy. Whatever school that has like those doors where like from the inside you can open without lock, but from the outside it's locked. If school doesn't have that, hell no.
No one called a code red, and it gave Cruz the opportunity to keep going. Within the same minute, Cruz made it outside room 1216, filled with 14-year-old children. Inside, Alex Schachter was sitting at his desk when the shots came through. He took one round to the head and another to the chest. He slumped over the desk, struggling to breathe before he died. Alyssa Aladef dropped behind the teacher's desk because that's where your brain tells you to go. It's the key in all the emergency drills. But it didn't help. She was hit 3 times. And while everyone else tried to disappear, pushing into corners, squeezing behind whatever they could, bullets still found people. William Olson was hit in both arms. Justin Colton was hit in the back and the arm. Alex Dworet got grazed in the back of the head, close enough that a fraction lower and he would have died on the spot. The gunshots were audible throughout the first 2 floors, yet, even then, no code red was called. Students on the second floor were still confused about what was heading their way. In room 1255, students were beginning to wonder if what they were hearing were gunshots.
Bro, what? I know you guys hate me.
Now I'm going behind the cover, right?
It sounds like somebody in the bathroom. Shh. It doesn't, right? Yeah. What's up?
What the fuck? They have what, chat? They have recordings? Nah, imagine being the one that recorded it and you're the one that died. Hell nah, chat.
The student joking about hiding in the closet was 17-year-old Joaquin Oliver, unaware that he wasn't going to walk out of this school alive. Crews moved down the first floor hallway and fired into room 1214.
Holy sh**. They have it recorded? Like the room getting shot up? Yeah, let me just, instead of staying quiet or doing something, let me just record. What the fuck? I don't know. I'm not moving, but like, if I heard those gunshots, I'm moving everything. I don't care whatever my teacher said. Oh, whatever. I'm moving everything to like to the door. Everything, every desk, everything I can find, I'm putting it to the door. That's scary. That's crazy. That's trippy.
17-year-old Nick Dworet, Alex Dworet's older brother, was killed instantly. 16-year-old Helena Ramsey was hit multiple times, and she later bled out inside that room. But even the people who survived 1214 were gravely injured. Sam Grady, a junior, got grazed in the back. Samantha Fuentes took a round to the thigh and caught shrapnel in her face. Isabel Checker and Daniela Menescal were hit by shrapnel. This was when School Resource Officer Deputy Scott Peterson finally issued an alert over the radio. But even he wasn't confident in his warning.
17 Bravo 3, 17 Bravo 4.
2 and 3, we have possible, could be firecrackers. I think we got shots fired, possible shots fired, 1200 building.
Attention all units in District 15, possible shots fired at 5901 Pine Island Road at Stoneman Douglas High School. Possible shots fired at Stoneman Douglas High School.
Because he couldn't find anyone else on the floor, crews doubled back to 1216. Alyssa Aladef was still inside that room, and this time, she didn't survive it. She was hit again, enough that later reports put her total at 10 shots. Elena Petty was hit high in the upper torso neck area and was killed.
How much bullets in a round? How do you just, like, one corner? What the?
One witness described her sliding down the wall before she dropped to the floor. 2 more students in that room were also hurt in the chaos. Genesis Valentine and Kashava Managapuram. 49-year-old Chris Hickson, the school's athletic director, ran into Building 12 unarmed after he heard gunfire. The first adult to willingly enter the building, trying to help, but crews got to him first. Hickson got shot in the legs and crawled into an alcove at the end of the hall, trying to stay out of sight. Crews moved to room 1213 and fired into the classroom. Carmen Shintrup was shot in the abdomen. She died screaming. Inside that same room, 3 other students were wounded. Madeline Wilford, 17, took major injuries to her abdomen, chest, and arm. Benjamin Wickender was shot multiple times, including in his arm. Samantha Mayer was shot in the kneecap. And while students were bleeding out in locked classrooms, the school still hadn't put the message over the loudspeaker that would have stopped movement and confusion across the building. No code red yet. Confusion across the building. No code red yet.
No, but let me pause.
Crews found Chris Hickson where he was hiding, right next to room. No code red yet.
There's like an arm there.
Crews found Chris Hickson where he was hiding, right next to room 1213. He fired 3 more times, into his chest and abdomen. Hickson couldn't survive his injuries, but the other students in the room were able to stay hidden from view and waited for Crews to leave the floor. Football coach Aaron Feiss, 37, moved toward the west end of the stairwell after Chris McKenna warned him there was a gunman in the building. He'd already gotten McKenna out of the immediate danger zone, driving him to Building 13 on a golf cart, then turned back. Feiss entered that stairwell unarmed, and almost at the exact same time, Crews entered the same stairwell. Crews fired immediately. Evidence later suggested Feiss tried to fight him off at close range. His hands were burnt before he was shot and killed. Seconds later, Crews was back inside the school building, trying to find his next target. Crews's rounds had caused so much smoke that the fire alarms went off. On the second floor, teachers could clearly hear the gunshots and started locking down on instinct. Doors shut, kids pulled inside, hallways cleared. But the third floor didn't have that clarity yet. They heard the alarm, not a code red. So some people started evacuating like it was a normal fire drill, but there had already been a fire drill earlier that day. So another one didn't make sense. But with no code red, hundreds of students flooded the third floor hallway. But the shooter didn't know that. He just saw the empty hallway in front of him on the second floor and assumed everyone left the building because of the fire alarm. By the time he made it onto the third floor, most of the students had evacuated, but the ones left suffered a horrible fate. The teachers on the floor tried to help. Ernie Ruspierski had about 15 students with him when he realized his keys were locked inside his classroom. So he crammed those kids into the alcove outside his door, trying to turn a recessed corner into shelter. On the other end of the hall, Stacy Lapel saw Crews come out of the stairwell and signaled to Scott Beagle to shut his door. He didn't even have a clear view of the threat. Lapel got grazed as she locked down. Seconds later, Beagle was shot and killed at his doorway. In the same stretch of hall, 15-year-old Anthony Borges threw himself into a doorway to block the shooter from a classroom full of students, and he got hit 5 times. Then the hallway funneled people into the worst hiding spots. 18-year-old Meadow Pollock dropped into Rospierski's alcove after being shot, right beside 14-year-old Kara Loughran, who was frozen there. Joaquin Oliver was shot in the knee and collapsed near the locked men's bathroom, stuck. Around that moment, Crews's rifle jammed, and that mechanical pause was the only opening some people got. Rospierski sent his students running for the stairwell. Students tried to pull Joaquin with them, but he couldn't run. Getting to the stairwell became the difference between life and death. 15-year-old Jaime Gutenberg was shot in the back. Peter Wang, also 15, held the door open so others could escape, dying in the process. Meadow Pollock tried to cover Kara Loughran with her body. Crews fired anyway, killing them both with the same bullets. Joaquin Oliver, unable to move, was found and killed last. Throughout the 6 minutes Crews terrorized Building 12, he never entered a single classroom. All of the shots fired were from the hallways, visible on CCTV. At 2:24:54 p.m., after almost 4 minutes of the first shot being fired, Code Red was finally called. But the police didn't enter the building yet, staging away from the school. Most of the children got themselves out, along with the surviving teachers.
Nah, chat.
By this point, many of the students had alerted.
I'll be worried. Imagine, no, chat. Imagine being one of the parents. Be like, oh, a lockdown happened. Where are they gonna be located or whatever? And imagine finding out, or going to like the place where they like you get all your kids, and finding out your kids is not there. Hell no, bro. You must be sick after that.
Their parents about the shooter, and they were all beginning to pile up near the school, trying to find their kids. But they weren't receiving any concrete information from the police.
Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, stop, just stop them for a second. Stop. Guys, stop. Guys, our parents, the plan is right now, we're gonna put all the kids on the bus says, and put them at Betty Stratton Park, northeast corner of Wiles and Coral Springs Drive, this road. All right, Coral Springs is already there. They're trying to organize a good way to let the kids go. So the buses are going to be coming just southbound to the park. All right. No, Betty Stratton, Wiles and Coral Springs Drive, northeast corner.
Okay, because they were saying North Community before. That's where my wife went.
Yeah, this is what we were told over the radio.
Right.
That might be as good as your information.
My
So,
son's texting me. He's still in school, so.
yeah, it's going to take a while because we're going to ID every kid as they get on the bus. So, but that's where we're going to bring them. I'll let them know too. What's that? I really can't talk about it. All right, that might be subject to change, but that's where we're staging right now. We're going to set up for an orderly dismissal there. What is it again? It's Betty Stratton Park. It's like 4 blocks down. Okay.
The police waited until the shooting noises had fully stopped before they entered the building.
Over there, should we?
Yeah. Are you being dead ass? What's the point of police then? They're waiting until the guy finished shooting, then to go in. Like, I understand your life. I understand, like, it's scary or whatever. But come on, there's kids. There's kids who are still safe if you go in by now.
To your back. Can you hold this for a second? I'll check it and make sure. All right, as far as we know, it's locked.
They're following up. It's about a 20 minute delay. They're following up on video. Building running south.
But they couldn't find Cruz anywhere. What they didn't know is that he'd taken advantage of the confusion outside and escaped with the other students. Since he was wearing his ROTC uniform, he threw his rifle inside the school and blended in with the survivors easily. The officers thought he was just one of the hundreds of students running to safety. Even though he had just taken 17 lives, he was calm and composed and proceeded to go to a subway located inside a Walmart. While the school was riddled with screams from the injured people, he was enjoying an ice. Afterwards, he walked over to the McDonald's nearby, where
How do you just kill 70 people? And then... No, because how do you just kill 70 people? And then, let me go get myself an icy in a Subway, in a sub. Hell, what? Bros.
other students had also gone, waiting for their parents to pick them up. Instead of trying to hide, he went over to John Wilford, whose sister he'd just shot multiple times, and asked him for a ride home. The two didn't really know each other, and with Cruz being extremely pushy, he felt off about the situation and refused to take him along. Within a few minutes of this interaction, the police got a tip that someone matching the description of the shooter was spotted at the McDonald's. A team was deployed immediately, and within minutes, they had eyes on him, along with their taser.
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Voices.
Voices and demons?
Where's the voices? What the Where am I? Holy shit. What happened?
It took Cruz 30 seconds.
I'm full of faith. Like, I believe in those stuff and maybe it could be taken over. But, like, a lot of people start to blame that stuff to, like, demons and stuff. But I don't know.
Seconds to go from calm and collected to someone hearing voices and seeing demons.
How was he so calm then? How was he so calm? Because right after he went straight into, let me get some food, enjoy my rest of my day, and then go home. Oh my God, that scared me. Oh my god, scary. Oh my god, I swear that scared me. That was. Oh my god. I know I didn't like.
He claimed to have no idea what happened, but no one was buying it. The CCTV footage showed Cruz walking confidently throughout the shooting. His conversation with Wilford at McDonald's solidified the fact that he knew exactly
McDonald's or Subway?
What he was doing throughout. Cruz, however, still complained about nausea and breathing difficulties while being arrested.
Put him in. Put him in the car.
The nausea wasn't from the guilt of killing 17 people, but from being caught by the cops. He tried to keep with the voices and demons story even while being interrogated.
Personally, I think
you
using
still get in trouble, right? Because no one asked you to have demons and voices in your head. I feel like people still get in trouble, no?
the demon as an excuse.
I'm not. I promise.
You could have stopped the demon by getting a prescription for marijuana. You could have stopped the demon by getting a prescription for Xanax. You could have stopped the demon by illegally doing marijuana, which you were doing anyway. You could have stopped the demon by doing Xanax illegally, which you were doing anyway. You could have stopped the demon anytime you want. You didn't want to stop the demon.
No, that's not true.
You didn't. You could have. I've given you 4 ways you could have stopped the demon, man.
Damn, bro, and he even has the thing on his foot.
Okay, now you're just acting like that because...
No.
Okay, well, relax. You're just acting like that because I'm making sense. Calm down. I'm making sense, and you don't like when it makes sense.
No.
Because it doesn't fit into the story you're telling right now.
No, I'm telling you the story. It's just true. It's just,
well, why are you looking at your arm now?
I'm trying to understand why.
Well, why didn't you want to stop the demon?
I don't know.
Because I think you like the demon.
No, I don't.
Why didn't you stop it then?
I don't like the demon. I don't like the demon. I don't like the demon. I don't like the demon.
Well, that's if the demon even exists.
Can I get an attorney or something?
You want what? An attorney?
Yeah.
Did the demon or the voice just tell you to get an attorney? All right. Well, you tell the voice that don't hit yourself in the head because the attorney, the demon just requested. I will stop talking to you.
I'm scared.
You're scared of what?
I'm scared of why wouldn't he protect me?
What?
Why wouldn't he protect me, man?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he protect me?
All right. Well, again, your demon wants an attorney. Does the demon know an attorney? Any name in particular? All right. Well, just relax. You're done talking to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Calm down.
Cruz knew nothing could save him now. When the case went to trial, it split into 2: accountability for the response and punishment for the shooter. First, the school resource officer, Deputy Scott Peterson, was the armed Broward Sheriff's deputy assigned to the campus that day. Video and radio traffic showed he stayed outside Building 12 instead of moving toward the gunfire, and he was quickly removed from duty. He was suspended from the sheriff's office and ended up...
Yeah, they say that, right? But the police didn't move in until all the shooting was done. So basically, they did the same thing he's doing. No? Am I literally wrong? They're doing the same thing he was doing.
Retiring shortly after. Prosecutors actually took the rare step of charging him criminally for what they said was a failure to act during an active shooter event. His case went to trial in 2023 on charges that included felony child neglect and culpable negligence. On June 29, 2023, a jury acquitted him on all counts.
Savannah, this will haunt me the rest of my life. It will. Those are my kids, those were my kids. So, and that's why it hurts the way it does.
But the broader police response was still a question. The Broward Sheriff's Office ran an internal affairs investigation into deputies who responded and staged outside. In June 2019, Sheriff Gregory Toney announced that deputies Edward Eason and Joshua Stambaugh were fired for neglect of duty, and Peterson and Sergeant Brian Miller had already left duty. But when things got to Nicholas Cruz, it took another turn. Everyone was expecting the death penalty for the ruthless killing, and that's where things were going at first. Nicholas Cruz pleaded guilty in October 2021, so the trial that followed was only about punishment, death or life without parole. His defense team argued for mitigation. The core theme was brain damage and developmental impairment tied to prenatal alcohol/drug exposure, often framed as fetal alcohol spectrum
brain damage, bro. Fetal alcohol syndrome. I heard about this thing. It's supposed to like people act like weird.
Disorder, plus long-running mental health problems and a severely disrupted upbringing. Even though all signs pointed towards Cruz being of sound mind, this one strategy changed how things ended. Under Florida's rules at the time, the death sentence required a unanimous jury recommendation. The jury did not unanimously agree on death, so it was off the table, and the only remaining sentence was life without parole. On November 2nd, 2022, Cruz was formally sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But even after the cameras left, the damage kept moving. In the year after Parkland, 3 people who survived that day later died by suicide: Sidney Aiello, Calvin Desir, and Donovan Metayer. They were unable to go to college or be in a classroom without getting flashbacks of being in the school that day.
What? So technically killed 20.
As for Cruz, while he apologized at the end of his sentencing, his troubles are far from over. He's been caught on CCTV fighting a security guard, proving that his anger and aggression are still something he hasn't been able to get in control of. And from the looks of it, he never will. Anthony Borges, who suffered 5 bullets from Cruz, now owns the rights to his name. Cruz wanted the shooting to make him famous, and now he needs his written permission before even appearing for an interview. The settlement also requires the gunman to donate his body, including his brain, to science. Cruz will never be able to profit off of the crimes he committed. On June 14, 2024, Building 12 was demolished, helping the victims move on from the painful reminder of the memories attached to the school.
Nah, that's scary, chat. Well, good stream, chat. Good video. See y'all later.